Welcome to solverfy.
Okay, so we are told that our pendant is 90.5 gold, all right, AU for gold, and 9.5% silver, all right, AG for silver. And we're also told that its density, all right, rho, the symbol for density, is 8.7 grams per centimeter cubed. And if you didn't know, a centimeter cubed is the same as a milliliter in terms of volume, so 8.7 grams per milliliter. We're also told that when put into a graduated cylinder filled with water, that the pendant will displace an amount of water that will cause the cylinder to go from 12.6 milliliters to 88.4. Right. Okay, so we can calculate how much water was displaced by subtracting the final volume from the initial volume, or 88.4 milliliters, minus 12.6 milliliters. Put this into a calculator, 88.4 minus 12.6. We get 75.8 milliliters. So the volume of our pendant is 75.8 milliliters. Okay, this is all the information we have. We have the mass percent, we have the density, and we have the volume. And our final question is, what is the mass of silver, given all that we know? Well, if we know the mass percent, right, and we know the mass of the pendant, then we can figure out what the mass of silver is, right? Whatever that mass, total mass of the pendant, I'll call it M underscore P for pendant, times 0.095, that's equivalent to 95%, is going to equal the mass of silver, which is what we're after. Okay, so that tells us our only missing information is what's the total mass of the pendant. And what's nice for us is that mass, in general, can be determined from volume times density, right? Because density is grams per volume, or mass per volume, right? So mass times volume, mass is equal to volume times density. Well, now we know the volume because it displaced 75.8 milliliters. We know the density because they told us that. We multiply those numbers together, we should get the mass of silver in grams, right? So the volume, we just said, is 75.8 mils. 75.8 milliliters, right? And the density of our pendant is 8.75 grams per, remember it's cubic centimeters, the same as milliliters, which means that the mass of our pendant, let me put a little p down there so we know we're talking about the pendant. Our mass P is equal to 75.8 times 8.7, or 659.46 grams per mil, or sorry, grams. 659.46 grams. That's the total mass of our pendant. Okay, and that's what MP is, right? Mass P, MP. So we know to get our final answer, mass AG, we just need to take this mass P, which is 659.46, multiply that by the proper percentage. This is a percentage presented as a decimal, 0.095. 0.5. Let's not forget this is grams. Okay, so we take our 659.46, we multiply it by 0.095, and we get that the mass of our silver is 62.648. Let's think about sig figs here. Looks like we have 2 sig figs multiplicatively, right? Meaning our final answer should also only have 2 sig figs. We know that, right? The density was given us to 2 sig figures. We could say the percentage was also given us to 2 sig figs, and all of the operations we did were multiplication. So that means our final answer should also have 2 sig figs, which means ultimately we should say that it is 63 grams. Should be our final answer.